How much of me is being seen? Is it like,
What?
how much of me is in the camera view? I'm curious. Like,
Your top half.
just like
Does
only blue, or do you see? Are you gonna see my?
I don't know
Okay.
exactly because I'm not looking at it.
But you were looking at it for like 5,
Yeah, but
10 minutes.
but I don't remember exactly. And this.
I'm just curious.
Welcome to RIP Society. I'm your host, John Doe, here with my co-host
Jane Doe.
And this is like, that's a perfect example of the issues that we have. Yeah. If you look around, the whole setup is created by me. All the equipment.
It's amazing.
The globe light, the curtains, the decor, the cute emo.
Yes.
The expensive cameras. I'll do all that. I'll get all that set up.
Hey, I did the curtains. I picked those.
You did do that. But after setting everything up, destroying my living room, my place of sanctuary, to have it as a set, I do all that. And remember that the first thing you always say when you come in, it's not like, oh, that's cool. Oh, how much was all those cameras? It's like, is that lighting going to get better? How am I going to look? Am I going to look good? Does the makeup get blown out by the light?
You're exaggerating.
Barely, if at all. But that, I love that lead in because this is the Ryan Garcia episode. So this is the Truth Bomb episode. That's why we're wrapped up. We have gloves. Well, yeah, I should have wrapped you up. I have purple wraps.
Ooh.
Maybe next time.
Okay. We do another boxing episode.
Ryan drops truth bombs. We're going to get into it. You know,
Yes.
not the shit that you know about, the fight, the upset, the conspiracy theories, and the fact that people think he's insane. He lost his damn mind. We're going to talk about a different angle about it. Yeah, getting into like the Paul brothers and just basically the fact that he's exposing truths to me. And I'm not saying he's perfect. You know, he is chaotic and he has ADHD and he says a lot of shit. But you know how much of a fan of Jake Paul and those guys, some of those guys I am.
You seem to be on a very wonky, you have a wonky relationship with the Logan, with what, Paul, are they Paulo? It's Logan Paul, right? Okay.
Yeah.
All these like two first namers, I can't keep track.
The white trash.
It's okay. Yeah. Yeah. Cause like you've talked about them a little bit with me. I only know about them through you basically. So all my knowledge, you're the one who feeds me all the knowledge, and it's very interesting. They have no appeal to me whatsoever. I'm completely outside their demographic, but the phenomenon is kind of fascinating, and so I'm curious to hear about it. But your relationship seems like it's been on edge a little bit.
Yeah, you're right. It is. It's on the fence. There's shit
Before Ryan Garcia.
Before I even really knew who Ryan Garcia was.
Yeah.
Yeah, because there's this shit that like Jake Paul has done in boxing that I'm like really impressed by, and I'm following him, and he seems to be transforming into, you know, caring more about his message and like helping people almost like spiritually, as opposed to just like money, Lamborghini, watch, Rolex, my brand. But I feel like Ryan Garcia is making me slip the other way because he's speaking so much actual truth that it's showing me that Jake Paul and Logan Paul and people like that are worried about their brands really like prime and money. That's on the forefront of their mind. Like they're playing that game.
Right.
And Garcia, you know, let me play the theme and we're going to get into all this shit.
Yes.
I forgot. How the fuck do I play it?
See this little soundboard? It's like that little game of Simon.
Another expensive thing that I had to go out of my way to get and set up and learn about.
Wait till the day's end when the moon is high, a little rise with the tide with the lust for life. across the land until we stand at the shore.
You look cute though.
Thank you.
Yeah. So I want to kind of pick up right where I left off because that's one of my main points. And we might as well go into it. I'll pause a little bit just to set the stage a little, and I'll let you do this. This is a standalone John and Jane episode because I had to talk Garcia, but typically there'll be a guest sitting next to Jane. And yeah, do you want to kind of talk about what types of guests that we might get and stuff like that?
Yeah, we're gonna have guests that have generally doing things a little more off the beaten path, carving their own way in life, doing something maybe unconventional, controversial, perhaps. Yeah, and so it kind of represents the name here, RIP Society. There's sort of like a death and a rebirth of I don't know, like pop culture, society norms.
Yeah.
We're still sort of filling it out, but we have thoughts about topics, and we know some interesting people that I think would be others would find interesting.
Yeah, and similar like to Ryan Garcia, we'll probably hone in on people that are gonna speak their truth. It's not a norm. They're following a pattern that everyone else is following. So that's the type of people I think we'll find.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, so Ryan Garcia, I mean, I'm not going to go into a whole backstory. He's a boxer. He just had his fight versus Devin Haney. There was a huge upset because he was like a 5-1 underdog. I went to Tahoe to watch the fight and to place a bet. I came back $5,000 richer.
Wow. Good
and
job.
I don't have a lot of money. I know. Help paid for this shit, this equipment and stuff. And it's funny because the reason that I bet for him is because, I mean, besides the boxing, looking at his record and his skills, that's there. But because I recognized, to me, that he was saying true things and that he was believing what he was saying.
Well, others were thinking he was crazy and maybe betting against him. You interpreted it the opposite.
Yeah.
And you won out on that, or you called it.
It became more than like a bet on this guy. It's like people that bet on him, I feel like they're in my boat where like they believed in him and his message.
Right.
And he's on God and he's following this path. So it was almost more of like the narrative, the news was speaking a narrative about him, and we people that were following him were like, I don't buy that. And I think a big part of the reason why I made so much money, because I only put down like $800 to win $5K, is because his neurotic behavior, call it neurotic or ADHD, we'll get into the shit that he was saying. But that...
Did you just mix the words neurotic and erratic? Because that's brilliant.
Shit, I did. That's why I need a poised person here, which you are. You're logical. Because I get emotional and I say neurotic, which is a fine word.
I like it. It's a great invention. Good job. Patent.
Boom. It's
Merriam-Webster.
It's recorded, so if anyone steals it, I have evidence that I said it first here. But it's the first time I can think of on this big of a scale that what he's saying is affecting the odds in Vegas. They almost canceled the fight in New York because they were saying, what's this kid, what's he doing? He's talking about crazy stuff. He's talking about conspiracy theories. He's having a manic episode, a mental breakdown.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why people are like, this motherfucker ain't gonna lose. He's not even training. He's going on lives and Instagram Live and Spaces, and he's talking about stuff and he's getting all into it. But the point is, if you see it and you agree with it, or you kind of believe, not all of it, because he says a lot, but that he's speaking the truth, then you think that he's on, the path to success because he's being pure. He's
right.
just on God or with the universe.
Yes.
And he's not worried about his brand and other shit that I was talking about. And so that's kind of why I was like, I'm going to fly to Tahoe and make a bet because you can't bet in California.
So was that the reason you went to Tahoe? Was just
Yeah.
for that?
It was a big factor in why I went.
Well, you also grew up there.
I grew
so
up
let's
there.
Be,
I've got friends, so I wasn't all by myself.
It's near the border. So do you have to cross the border to do that? That's why okay.
Yeah. That's why I can't bet here because we're in California. We're in LA.
But can you do online betting? I don't want to go. We don't have to go this direction.
You can, but you have to be in Nevada or in a state that allows it. So I can bet on my phone, but I have to fly across the border or walk across the border, and it knows where I am, and then I can use the app.
Wow.
Side note, they should fucking legalize betting in all states because there's a few states that you can and a few that you can't.
Don't get me started. We have lottery. If lottery is government run and we're not allowed to bet on sports or gamble or whatever, and that's the only gambling. It's like government run gambling only.
Yeah.
It
Why do they do that? It's like you can raise the age. I don't care if you have to be 25 or 30 to bet if you want to change that. But why can you do it, here and not there? And why doesn't the government want to capitalize on it and take the taxes that you get off of betting and shit?
right.
It will probably end up where all states you can do it. You can buy alcohol and kill yourself. You could buy cigarettes, but they don't want you to bet.
Seems like we would have gotten there by now if it was going to happen.
I
I
know.
don't feel any movement. Is there really a strong movement for that? I mean, I was in college in the early 2000s in Pennsylvania, and the sororities could not have houses because there were brothel laws.
God. They thought they were
Yeah.
going to run a brothel out of it?
That's a Pennsylvania law. You can't have more than 7 women in a house. I'm not kidding.
That seems really dated
Yeah.
now. Yeah, they should get on that like they did it with weed.
Yeah. There was
and-
like, who knows?
I haven't heard about it, but it's in the zeitgeist because there are states that are like getting onboarded, being able to do it every day. I don't know. There's got to be some reason why they don't, but I don't know. I can't imagine. I'm too jaded to think that they're protecting the interests of the persons. Oh, that poor schmuck is gonna lose his entire income and
No.
become. Well,
No
guess what? He
way.
can fucking go to Vegas and fucking lose his whole income there.
Right.
So what did you do? Nothing. You just lost me. You made me fucking fly to Tahoe to win 5K on Ryan Garcia. What are they up to?
Yeah. I mean, even just playing the stock market is
Thank
betting.
you. I lose so much money. I'm not doing the stock market anymore. You are gambling. I thought about that the other day. You're gambling in the
Yes.
stock market. I'm going and I'm buying whatever stock I want, thousands of dollars, and hoping it goes up. You're gambling in crypto. You're literally gambling on your phone. Why can't you bet on sports?
Right. Don't get me. This is one of many issues that are
Yeah.
similar.
That's a good tangent. Hopefully people remember what I was talking about.
Yes.
But yeah, because Garcia, it's just back to the odds. It was people thought that he was crazy. But here's what I want to ask: why did people think he was so crazy? Because what he was mainly talking about, the only things he was really talking about was protecting the kids. He was talking about we don't like, The Sound of Freedom, or that
Yeah.
kid, the movie about child. I don't think we can even say it, or we'll get like shadow banned. But
Really?
like child
Okay. Yeah.
abuse
Yeah.
and sex trafficking and all that.
Yeah.
I'll just call it ST, sex trafficking. Because honestly, I don't know if you get banned and shit going forward.
Yeah. I was just trying to come up with a good little like innuendo
If-
to replace it.
Yeah, if one pops into your head,
Yeah.
we'll use it. But he's saying, and he wasn't even being specific, really. He's just saying we got to look out for the kids. This is a problem. ST is a problem. And that's pretty much it. And he was going ham on it. going hard. And why is that controversial? Why is that a conspiracy theory? Like, he didn't say there's this amount of it. He just said it exists. Of course it does. We've seen it. There's like obviously evidence in cases of abductions and bad things, and Diddy's fucking going through some shit, and I'm sure it's all over the place. You got to be really ignorant, and I think people don't want to believe it, how rampant it is, but it's out there.
Well, they're willing to believe, I think they're willing to believe like the Diddy stuff and the Epstein stuff but they think it's like one-offs. It's just like the elite people, but then when you get down to like a wider, when it, broadens out, then people start getting skeptical.
Yeah.
And I'm sure there are stories people have made up stories and exaggerated situations, or, they hear these, I don't know, moms like going to Walmart and they think they're being followed. Someone's trying to like snatch their kid, and it's like, overly, there are the people that get overly paranoid and they give everything else a bad rap, or people
I think want to believe, like you said, it's one-offs. Epstein's a monster. The ones they catch, oh man, that's so crazy. No, how that's so rare. Why is that one person doing it? But if you peel back the layers, it's like it's your next door, not your next door neighbor, but there's more to it, especially in like industries of money, like in Hollywood and success, and like you want to be up here, but you're up here. It's there, and and people, it just makes them feel like the devil. There's too much evil. If you see how much there's probably more than you think.
Yeah.
But he didn't even say how much. He was just saying this is a problem.
He also said about what happened to him, and I didn't see anything elaborating on that. So I'm curious what his situation was. From what I understand, he was just a child boxing prodigy. He got started when he was 7, just kind of, I don't know, something happens in that industry that I've never heard of kids boxing and stuff. Like, I don't even know how that works.
And he's super religious, so he was probably in the Catholic Church or something.
Right.
But I mean, I don't know exactly what he's talking about, but that's the other reason that I think people are, that's the scapegoat they're using. 'Cause he did say, I have like evidence that I'm going to show to prove this stuff. And he hasn't shown it.
Right.
And he said, I can't show it now, but get ready, I'm going to show it. He's saying, and which kind of sounds true, if you have evidence that's going to bring a powerful person down, you got a target on your back. You think that it's like he can just be like, yeah, check this out, or whatever evidence he might have or might not. And that he's not going to be targeted, and who knows what they'll do to him. So here's what pissed me off. That's what people were attacking him for. The impulsive and the Jake Paul podcast and all these people like Mike Majlak or whatever. He's this podcaster. He's always on with Logan. And they're like, all right, we believe you. So if you have evidence, why aren't you showing it?
What was said today that was a lie? That was a lie. What came out on impulsive that was a lie?
Well, you just said you started off by saying Ryan is going through an episode.
I believe that you're going through an episode, Ryan. I do believe that. Both of our struggles, we've both struggled a lot in our lives with our mental health. We've talked about that a lot. I'm not going to put you on the spot and bring anything specific up.
But fine. You can't. But can you can't? Okay, let's break down where you think I'm lying. Go. First one.
I don't, Ryan. I don't believe you're lying. And also, if you go
back,
just
said on impulsive, you think I made these claims and I'm lying. So now I'm telling the truth. Which one is it, Mike? It can't be both.
If you can't misquote me, so that's the thing. You say that I was spinning the narrative, but now you're doing that. There's never a point in the episode where I said you were lying. What I said was, if you have this wealth of evidence on all of these topics, from the Vatican to Bohemian Grove to nurses' testimony on Prime to all of these massive, basically you have the entire treasure trove of the world in your palm, dude. That's what you, okay, so you have all the information on everything, right?
Yes, I do.
So if you have that, then why are we not bringing that? Let's get that evidence out now, bro.
I'm literally
bro, meet me. Let's go now and bring this evidence. Let's bring these motherfuckers down, bro.
Let's fucking do it, Mike. I'm with you, dog. I'm gonna do it. But it says in the Bible, be wise as a serpent, gentle as a dove. I can't make a misstep here, bro, or I will be killed.
And they're basically like getting mad at him for not exposing it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, why don't you instead admit that he's doing something good by bringing up the subject and trying to help it? You know, whether or not he's got a videotape of a priest peeing on someone or some shit. And he didn't say that. I'm just making it up. But it's like, whether or not he has that or not, why are you going to call him crazy for saying that ST is a problem and like we need to help protect our kids, you know?
Yeah.
And by the way, and so this is all right. So this is what bugs me. And this is why I was like having doubts with Jake, and I liked Jake and Logan, whatever, and those guys. I like Jeff FM. So there's some of them that I like, but there's some of them that I don't. But they were all saying, I'm so worried about Ryan. Man, who is this kid? He's gone crazy. He's lost his mind. What's he talking about? He's not training. He's going to lose this fucking fight. Man, I'm really worried about him. What the hell? Like, they're talking shit. They don't really have his back. They're not saying, all right, well, let's just see what he does. They're all fucking two-timing him behind his back and saying, he's for sure gonna lose. He's talking nuts. I'm worried about him. Here's what they're saying that really fucking pissed me off. He's gonna hurt his brand. Man, what's he doing? He's hurting his fucking brand. You think people want to like give him money if he's talking about scary shit like ST?
No, yeah, I hope he's okay. Like, I don't know. I just feel like the problem is that everyone around him is like hyping that behavior up and not shooting straight with him.
Everyone around him,
yo, chill. Because there's attention and selling a fight, and then there's just like bad attention and hurting your brand.
Well, because it's not strategic. I don't think he understands anything more than like, oh, people are reacting to what I'm saying. That's fun.
Yeah.
You know, it's not like what I'm saying damaging is to my brand.
His brand.
They're assuming his values are the same as theirs.
Yeah.
And they're projecting that they're like, I would never do that because that would ruin my brand. So how could he do it? It's like, well, that's not what he's going for.
You're so right. That's what they think. They think it's all money, and they're like, dude, he's gonna lose like a sponsor. He's gonna lose like $2 million doing that. Like, he gives a fuck,
right?
But he's exposing that's what you fucking care about. No. You care about your fucking brand, and he doesn't. He cares about speaking the truth, and that's when I was like, look, I'm not like fuck all of them, but that is exposing that to him, or to me.
I think those little raps are giving you extra.
I know, because that is really what pissed me off. Oh, I'm worried about him. And what's he doing? He's fucking his money up. He's trying to bring light to a problem about children.
Right. And he doesn't
and you're worried about your fucking brand.
Yeah. And he's like not making any money off it. Like I saw that there were people speculating if he was trying to throw off the betting odds. Like, he actively tried to do that. It's hard.
Partially, yeah, and like making it a show, because that's boxing. You get money by making it entertaining, and that's what makes it good.
And well, the little quartet that he walked out to, I mean,
he's playing some good antics. He's having fun.
Chugging a beer. That
violinist in his locker, chugging a beer at the weigh-in.
But he also admitted that was apple juice and water, of course.
Yeah, and sparkling water. So a lot of it is theatrics, but even after the fight, immediately in the ring when they interview him, the stuff he's talking about ST and helping the children, that's not a lie, because he says it immediately. He's like, we need to protect the kids. Like, and that's why people thought he was crazy. So I'm wondering, like, why did they think he was so crazy? But that was true. And if you follow him, when he speaks about that, he's still talking about it after. That wasn't to hype up the fight and be like, oh, I'm going to cause all this controversy talking about kids and all this. So that was all true. But that's what they called him crazy for. It's like, why are you going to call him a conspiracy theorist for saying there's a problem out there?
At the end of the day, I've been boxing my whole life, and all I do is love God and try to help the children, and you guys straight hate on me. You guys do not love the truth. The truth is in front of you. I put my fucking reputation on the line for all the kids in the world, and everybody's fucking staying quiet, but me.
You know, and that's what really bugged me. And I was like, look, if you do watch his stuff, he has ADHD. And he's got highs and lows and whatever, and he speaks his mind. So it, like Kanye and shit, like sometimes, well, Kanye comes off even way crazier. But sometimes you do look nuts, and maybe I wouldn't want to be his best friend because he'd probably be all over the place. But at least he's touching on important things that are true and not worried about his brand.
Yeah.
And all that.
He's doing things unconventionally, which we like here.
Yeah.
Wow.
That was it. That's all. That's what bugged me.
Yeah, now I'm fascinated by this whole dynamic. I started following him on Instagram thanks to your suggestion, studying
Good.
up.
Yeah, thank you.
And he kind of like
A little homework.
dominated my feed all of a sudden. I was like, oh, what is this going on?
That's all you're gonna see now.
Yeah. Well, and then I was talking to a guy I know who follows this stuff too, and he was telling me about how he's managed by Oscar de la Hoya and does coke. And I thought he meant Ryan did coke, but he's like, no. They test him for that. His manager can do coke.
Yeah.
It's like, oh,
De La
okay.
Hoya?
But it still like felt right for the erratic posting I was watching, so it kind of made me wonder. But
wonder what if he did coke?
Coke or just it? I don't know. Like,
No, he
his behavior.
It's ADHD.
He seems pretty savvy with social media. Does he control his own account? It feels like he does.
Yeah, I think so. And he goes on, I should look it up, but he goes on like IG Live and Spaces and TikTok Live. And when he goes live, I mean, he like we're trying to do. He's good at hosting a show and he has good points. And I mean, he's random and stuff, but it's also what makes it entertaining and fun. That's why I keep telling you about this podcast. I don't want to put the mask on and be like, we're going to talk about this and welcome to the podcast. And it's we've done our homework. It's like, I want to touch on the truth.
Get right to it.
Yeah. And it doesn't always come off poignant or it's not concise because that's just fucked in my head. It's just all emotion. And
although it's interesting because he's, despite like the erratic behavior, he's a wildly successful boxer. So obviously he has the capacity to focus and be disciplined and do the same. I'm assuming there's drills you have to just do over and over and over again to get to that level. So he has an ability to like zoom in and focus.
Yeah, undeniably.
And so maybe it's hard for me to like relate to this because it seems like that focus would, if you ever, like swimmers, if you ever listened to like Michael Phelps, Ryan Lochte, oh my goodness, he's just sort of a doofus. Like he's sort of lovable, but to swim lap after lap after lap and just like you can't listen to anything.
No, you can't have music in.
You're just with you and your thoughts swimming.
Yeah.
There's like a certain personality with that, and you can sort of most of those sports too, like even gymnasts, they're a little one-dimensional when they on and off. But maybe boxing's different. Maybe
influencer boxing is because they don't have to be at that level, but he's literally the best in the world at that weight class now because that's what he beat Devin Haney.
Right.
So you can't phone that in. It's true because with his ADHD, you would think he'd be like in the gym once and then out at the candy shop and then doing like 10 different things. But he has to at least train like once a day, twice. He does all this shit.
Yeah.
He's got God-given natural ability. And his left hand can knock anyone out. Like you can't train that necessarily, but you have to be in full condition to do what he does.
Is he left-handed?
I don't think so.
Oh, okay. I know they call
Actually,
them southpaws.
Oh, then he is. If he's a southpaw, it probably is. I should know that.
Well, you said his left hand can knock anyone out, so I assumed that was his dominant hand.
It might be. But yeah, I mean, like you said, athletes are a different breed. And that's why it bugs me. And not only that, but then you walk out, you've got literally the world watching you and all this anticipation and billions of dollars bet on you. And you've said all this stuff and there's a build up and it's like and people trying to get under your skin and literally the world's calling him insane. You're having a manic episode, Ryan. You're fucking crazy, Ryan. What are you doing? You're not doing it right. You're not doing it the way everyone else is doing it.
But if he's one with God, he's not letting all that chatter get to him.
That's why I bet on him. Because that was whatever. And even his buddies, the Pauls and people that he's always with and stuff, they're saying it too. But he wasn't like, shit, am I fucking up? He was like, I'm doing it. I'm focused. I'm talking about the kids. And so he does other shit. But yeah, that's why it was like an obvious thing to bet on him. And his opponent, Devin Haney, and his dad, Bill Haney, is his coach. They're just doing it the same way. And he's a fucking gifted athlete. He's 31-0. No one can touch him. Solid defense. But I don't like the dynamic. It's always the dad and the son. Sometimes it works, but I'm like, it seems toxic almost. Like he's literally does whatever his dad says. And, I don't know. But it was just by the books. What should I do? Yeah. Okay, Dad, I'll do that. And, his dad probably kind of living a little bit through him.
Right.
And I'm like, I don't like that. I don't like how I see it. And I like what he's doing. And he's such an underdog. But I see, like you said, it's clear. And his vision's clear. So he can, ignore the riffraff.
Yeah. There's something to be said for that. Trying to adopt that in my life too. I mean, why not?
Take the masks off and just say what you believe.
Yeah.
That's why we're trying to do this.
Exactly.
I want to not even about ego. It's a vessel of you can call it God or you can call it universe, but there's a natural way that the universe is. And sometimes you see it and you just say it out loud and you don't filter it with different stuff or your ego and what you want. And that's what I want to get towards here. I don't need to lie. I don't need to be professional.
Right.
I'm not at work.
A vessel for the truth. The truth has there's a physical feeling to it when you speak the truth.
That's what I want to touch on. Like you can feel when someone's being negative or something, even if they're not saying anything bad. It's like a tone or just an energy. And then if you speak up and say, wait, this is how I feel about it, people are like, oh, what are you talking about? Yeah, he didn't say anything wrong or whatever. But sometimes, like you said, you feel it. And that's my goal here, is to not be stifled and say, oh, that's like a weird thing, or I'm just being too sensitive, which I'm sure you're going to say a million fucking times. But that's why you're here to be. You're a little more logical.
Yes. We're the yin and yang.
Yeah. And we're going to get you a boyfriend.
Oh, gosh. Let's take this one step at a time.
Yeah. Let's focus on Garcia. You know what does bug me? He comes out to the 20,000 people in the audience, all the pressure, and he delivers. And people go, oh, yes, that's his job. That's just what you got to do. It's like you get used to it. That's like what my brother said. I'm like, yeah, but there's so much pressure, and it's like, oh no, well he just practices every day, so it's good. It's whatever. It's like, oh, it's so easy. Then why isn't everybody doing it? It's like, give him the credit he deserves. He trained hard whilst speaking the truth and fighting little battles on the side, whilst dropping a song, a rap song.
I'm blessed, highly favored. I'm blessed, highly favored. I'm blessed, highly favored.
He does music. One of them was pretty good. I listened to it. Maybe I'll play a
I missed
bit of it.
About him.
Yeah. I mean, it's not that great, but he could get better.
If you can be this good at boxing, you can be this good at rapping.
Yeah. And they love it. And so, yeah, fuck it. Fuck Jake Paul, worried about his brand. And he's also, I watched Jake Paul's reaction. Maybe I'll play it. And to me, his reaction when Ryan won the fight was kind of jealousy, because that's who he wants to be. He wants to be the one that YouTuber that became the world champion. And
he went in the wrong direction, though. Like, Ryan started, he's boxer first and foremost.
Yeah, and then he's good at social media.
Yeah, but Jake Paul did the other direction, right? Didn't he start just like being a YouTube guy and he tried to get into boxing?
And yeah, I mean, I love what Jake has done with the sport, and I'm not hating on him, because he went from being a YouTuber and using that clout that he got to bringing that to boxing, and he helps kids like with gyms and stuff. So he's doing good stuff. I don't want to totally shit on him. I just was woken up to how much he cares about his brand, I think.
How about that Prime crap?
Oh, fuck.
Yeah. That was the one that
we got to talk about Prime, because that too, I was drinking a lot of Prime.
Okay, maybe explain what Prime is, because I didn't know what it was. So I'm going to, maybe the viewers that are more like me.
Prime is Logan Paul's Gatorade. It's a sports drink that him and KSI created, and it's their little brand, and so they market it. And the fucking beverage, it's like, it tastes condensed. It's not supposed to, but it's the sweetest beverage you'll ever taste. It's the sweeter than any other sports drink, but there's 0 sugar in it. So, like, I'm not saying that's the only one that does that. All Diet Cokes flavor their shit with, unnatural shit. But it's really sweet, and who knows what's in it. Some kind of weird sweeteners. It can't be that good for you. But all Ryan Garcia said was like, you have a big voice. Children follow you. Kids follow you. You're very influential, and they're going to leech onto this, and they're going to all have Prime in their backpacks. They're going to be chugging Prime because it looks cool. So what's in it? And he's like, what the fuck's in it? This shit is like poison. So, yeah, I mean, it hurts Logan's brand. But, yeah, Logan didn't even seem as upset as Jake did. So, anyway, yeah, Ryan and Logan have beef because he's like, it's poison. And Logan's like, dude, it's my brand. It's my drink. It's fine. And, I don't know how I feel about it. Maybe Prime isn't that bad. Like, there's McDonald's is gross. All that shit is gross. But it is what it is. But it's just another layer of, does Logan care probably more about his brand than what's in his drink? Like, if me and you made a drink, I would be like, there better be like not some gross shit in it. There's plenty of other bad drinks out there.
Oh, absolutely not. I'd never be a
But
part
you're
of that.
very healthy.
Yeah. Very conscious of the ingredients in my food.
Very conscious.
Yes. No bags of Milano while I sit in a hotel room and
win
watch.
$5K from Ryan Garcia. Yeah. You eat, good quality foods, and you eat raw meat.
Yes.
You eat raw meat.
Go into this right away.
We'll get into that in another episode. Let's wrap this up.
Yes.
Is there anything? Did we leave any Garcia stuff out? I'm proud of us, by the way.
Yeah.
Because we didn't.
First episode.
No editing. No, we're not cutting shit out, really.
No, straight through.
30-something minutes. Didn't meander too much. Didn't get too tongue-tied. And I'm worn down from a day of work.
Yeah, we've got real jobs that
Yeah, we're boring. Good little intro. We're going to have some really fun guests.
Yeah,
like,
I'm excited.
Semi-famous guests.
Yeah, we might.
Very interesting guests. So,
yeah,
and I'm going to make them really uncomfortable. Because sometimes when you speak the truth, people get uncomfortable.
Right. Maybe they'll make us uncomfortable in a good way.
That is more likely with Some of the people we're getting, yeah, they're gonna make us uncomfortable.
Yeah, really. Oh, can we air this?
But as long as you're open-minded and can hear other people's opinions, you're welcome on the show.
Yeah,
None of this
for
black and
sure.
white. If you like that person, you're done. If you like this person, you're done. We're talking generally here.
Yeah.
We don't want to exclude anybody.
Well, with that being said,
Let's do it. The outro song is the same as the intro song for now.
it's a good one.
Courtesy of MC Chris. I wait till the day's end when the moon is high, and then I rise with the tide with the lust for life.
I'm as an army, I will harness a horde and the whole live across the land until we stand at the shore. I'll wait till day's end when the moon is high, and then I rise with the tide with the lust for life. I'm as an army, I will harness a horde and then we'll live across the land until we stand at the shore.
Nice. All right. See you next episode. Cool. Very nice. Isn't that fun?
That was.
Everything else.